Okay, so welcome back to another video where I am going to show you guys this activity 1.2.4. Okay, so I'm sort of circling back to what we had already done. Remember, this one was the fundamentals of dimensioning. So we're using our principles of dimensioning to this PDF got kind of cut off here. Remember, it was this assignment where we were dimensioning. We had a scale, and after you dimension this, you had a worksheet to do where you had 3 other drawings to dimension, and 2 of them you had to put in non-shapes. So I am going to open up. If you guys are having trouble finding that, right? It's in this PDF. If you go to this dimensioning worksheet, you just click that, boom, downloads, and then when it opens here, I'll be able to see. So you guys needed to have made drawing number 2 and drawing number 3 in Onshape. So I'll quickly go over how to make these. All right, so again, our scale is 2 blocks. 2 blocks on here is equal to 1 inch. So that's going to help us. So, if I look at my length component, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks. 6 blocks means it's going to be 3 inches long. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 again. 6 blocks means that it's going to be 3 inches high. So let's get into this one, okay? I'm going to create a document. I'm going to label this one 1.2.4. And when I load in, I'm of course going to start a sketch. I find this one to be easy to sketch right on the front plane. I am going to roughly sketch out the L shape here of the front. This will help me produce the shape that I need as we go. So I'm going to rough sketch. Now remember, a rough sketch, I don't care about the dimensions. I just want to make an L. Now, the tricky part is making sure that this bottom part lines up with the top part. But the easy way to do it is to drag it up here. You're going to see this yellow square appear. And then when I click to pull down, it sort of snaps into place. And you can see on my screen these yellow lines, right? Everything's highlighted. Okay, this is telling me, if I look here, I have this straight vertical line and this set of parallel lines. That means I'm constraining this sketch to be exactly what I need it to be. So before I move forward, I'm going to make sure my workspace units are in inches. You might not have to do that. You might have to do that. I don't know. I did. So, like I said, since it's 6 blocks long, that's going to be 3 inches. And it's 6 blocks high, so that's another 3. The other thing I need to do, I need to know this component and this component. So I got to go back and look at my drawing. So this component here, 2 blocks, 1 inch. This component here, 2 blocks, that's 1 inch. Right? Easy enough. Basically, I take the number of blocks I have, divided by 2. So now I have this L. And what I can do is I can actually just make an extrusion from here. I just need to know how wide to make the extrusion. I'm going to have to go to the other drawing. Right? This is my right side view. In other words, it's as if I'm looking at this here. How wide is my right side? Well, my right side is 3 blocks wide. So I'm just going to make this 1.5 inches. Okay? My extrusion, my depth is 1.5. I'll hit check. I rotate around by right-clicking, or in my case, I click down with 2 fingers, and I can see that I've made my shape just fine, right? So now I need to add the piece onto the back. Now the piece on the back is a little bit obscured, right? I only see this. Okay, I just see this come out. And the way that I'm going to do this, actually, but it extends all the way down. The way I'm going to do this, if I go back to my shape, I'm going to start a new sketch on the back. I'm going to view normal. I'm now going to draw out. I'm going to start all the way at this corner. I'm going to drag this a little bit past here, drag it down, drag it over, right? And sort of build on this back piece. It's going to look something like this at first. It's going to look something like that. It's important that I draw all of the sides to this so that my extrusion comes out correct. So now I want to add my dimensions. Well, how am I going to know? Well, I got to go back to my drawing. I see that it comes out 1 inch here. It's really 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks long, this entire side. So I need to make that. This is already 1 inch. I need to make this 1 inch. This entire thing should be 2 inches. 4 blocks is 2 inches. Okay. How tall is this edge? Well, again, from the bottom corner to the top, it's 4 blocks, so that's going to be 2 inches as well. This should be 2. Okay. Now, what I should notice is that I don't need to put dimensions for this. That's already 1 inch. I don't need to put a dimension for that. It's already 1 inch, right? It automatically is constrained. In fact, there's no other dimension. All I needed to place was these 2 dimensions here, 2 inches and 2 inches. Now, I'm ready to extrude. Okay, now what's my extrusion going to be? Well, again, I have to look at my right side. I can see this is a total of 3 inches. So, really, I messed up. I messed up at first, right? My first extrusion should just be, hold on. Well, let's start. Let's do this. Right now, I made my extrusion an entire 3 inches. Okay, but really, this one should be 1.5, and this one should be 1.5. So I'll show you how to edit that. Let's make our extrusion off of this sketch. Let's make it 1.5. Okay, and hit check. Okay, obviously this is way too large. So let me edit my extrude one. Sorry, these should be 0.75 apiece. 0.75, 0.75. Sorry about that. See, even though I've been doing this for a while, I still make mistakes. Point is, your extrudes should actually just be 0.75. If you need to edit an extrude, edit any of these, you just double click and you can edit it. All right, that's how you make the first one. The second one, I'm going to create a new part studio. The second one's a little bit more challenging. I'm going to start by making a cube, an entire cube, and I'm going to use subtractive modeling to cut away these parts, this L shape and this, okay? So what I'm going to start with, my cube is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks long, 6 blocks high. So that's 3.5 inches long and 6 blocks, so 3 inches tall. Let's start making this. Start a sketch, front plane, right click, view normal. I'm going to use my corner rectangle tool for this. That's going to be the easiest thing, right? And I'm going to set my dimensions on here. This should be 3.5 long. This should be 3 high. Now, I need to extrude it. Well, how far do I have to extrude it? Well, I see my depth is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 2.5. So I'll extrude this based on my scale, 2.5 inches. Okay, so now I have this. What I'm going to do from here, I'm going to start a sketch on the top plane. Okay, I'm sorry, not on the top plane, on the face of extrude 1. See how that's highlighted? I'll view normal to my sketch plane. Now I need to make this L shape. I'm going to extrude that away. I'm going to extrude away this L shape. So I'm going to start I see it's 1 block thick, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks. So when I make this on here, I'll start a sketch. At the edge, I want to make sure this edge is highlighted. I'm going to drag this out, roughly make the L shape that I need. Now, I'll add my dimensions. This should be 0.5. This should be 0.5. This should be, what did I say? I said 5 blocks, right? If I said 5 blocks, right, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I'll make this 2.5. And this, I said, was how many blocks? Well, let's go back and check. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that needs to be 2 inches. Now, something like this might happen. The sketch cannot be solved. Why? Well, look what popped up in red. This is a coincident constraint. That's telling me that this point down here is constrained to always be right here. If you get something like this, all I have to do is select that and hit backspace. And look how that fixes it. Look how that fixes it. Okay? So now, I don't have to do anything else here. I can just extrude this. I'm using subtractive modeling, so I don't want to add, I want to remove. I want to remove that. Now, how far do I want to remove that? How far do I want to remove that? Well, I can see from here, my L cutout is only 1 block. It's just 1. So, what am I going to do? Oh. You can come in, but you gotta be quiet. So, sorry, there was a small interruption there. I need to extrude away a depth of 1 block, which is equal to 1/2 inch. So I'll change that to 0.5. I can hit check on that, and now I have this L-shaped cutout. No problem, guys. I'll see ya. Some of my favorite students just popped in to see me. Okay, now I need to cut out this rectangular portion. The way that I'm going to do that, again, is by analyzing my drawing and seeing that my rectangular portion here is 1, 2, 3 by 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 1.5 by 2, and it's 1 inch deep. So I don't even need to worry about the dimensions because this should already be that. So I'll sketch on here. I'll sketch a rectangle that is these dimensions. And you can see it makes it, if you can read that, 1.5 by 2. Okay. Now, I'll extrude that away. A depth of, let me see how deep that was again. 1, 2. It's actually 1, 2, 3. So extrude that away at depth of 1.5 inches. 1.5, make sure I'm on remove, and I get my step down. The last thing that I need to do here is make this circle. This circle, I can see these hidden lines. This goes all the way through, okay? This goes all the way through. Now, this is where our hidden lines are important. Our hidden lines are telling me that this is 1 inch in diameter, right? It's 2 squares, and there's 1/2 inch on either side. This thing is centered. This thing is centered on there. So, what I want to do, come back to Google Chrome, okay? Sketch on this final step down. Face it, view normal. grab your center point center point circle, and create a circle here and make it 1 inch. Now we need to center this. How am I going to center it? Well, it needs to be half an inch from either side, and in fact, it needs to be 1/4 of an inch from the bottom. Now I can extrude and remove and make my depth. See, it's not going through all the way. I can click and drag this arrow down. Boom. Done. And anyway, that's how you make this in Onshape. So, hope that this video helped. Sorry about that minor interruption. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.